AITA. Am I the a-hole for telling my habitually late mom that if she can't be on time, don't come to my wedding? My mom is habitually late. If she has somewhere to be, she'll be getting ready 5 minutes before and then rush there in a frenzy, being ultimately late to whatever she had planned. She owns her own business and seems to only be on time for clients. She's been late to dinners, gatherings, parties, etc., all because she'll sit around and wait until the last minute. If you want her on time, you better tell her the wrong one. She thinks it's funny, I don't. I'm getting married in 2021, restrictions willing, and she made a comment about me telling her the wrong time so she'd show up on time. I said, or you'll be on time because it's an important day and you're an adult. She gave me a look and I said, if you're not going to be on time, don't show up. She got very offended by this, but to me, it's her daughter's wedding. If you can't prioritize it and get up a little earlier to be on time, then don't come. She now won't speak to me and my dad says I should apologize. I don't think so. AITA? Am I the a-hole? I hate people who have the mindset of like I'm always late, sorry lol, can't help it. Like yes you can. Being late once or twice is an accident, being habitually late is rude. NTA, not the a-hole at all. NTA. Not the a-hole. If she can't be on time to that, what can she be on time for? NTA. Not the a-hole. I'm betting she thinks it's funny because everyone just lets it slide and tries to laugh it off. Clearly, if she's on time for her clients, she's shown that she's capable of being on time in general. It's not that hard, and you are asking very little. Can you talk to your dad about making sure that she shows up on time? My dad will probably leave without her because she's always late. NTA. And I think you should do it frankly. She is doing this for control, it should not be respected. NTA. And you're right. Being late because you have poor time management skills isn't an excuse, and if she can't be bothered to show up on time, that's her fault. She's on time for the things that matter to her. NTA. NTA. Habitual lateness is a sign of deep disrespect. Outside of visiting violence upon another person, it's pretty much the biggest sign of disrespect one person can do to another. It's an active message that the late individual does not consider established plans, or the time of another person to be valuable. I absolutely cannot stand people who are habitually late, for no other reason than their own poor planning. I'm not sure on this one. Only because it sounds like you escalated a well-intentioned light-hearted joke. The way you describe her, it seems your mom is very immature and irresponsible. But the exchange sounds as if she recognized her fault and made a joke, and then you took a jab at her for it. It's hard to know who the a-hole is without actually being there and knowing the exact dialogue. NTA. I say this as a terrible time manager. There is a limit to how much chronic lateness other people will put up with, and when someone is trying to pass off their bad habit as cute and others are not having it, it's time to get the message. IMO, ESH, everybody sucks here. She sucks for not committing to being on time, and therefore not giving you peace of mind. And you suck for telling her that she's not welcome if she's late. Not welcome at her own daughter's wedding. That's a pretty devastating result for compulsive behavior, regardless of how immature it may be. I feel it's reasonable to apologize and say that the issue is causing you a lot of anxiety, and that you'd like a commitment from her that she'll be on time. And for good measure pull someone else aside, Dad, and request that he gets here there on time. YTA. You're the a-hole. Nobody is perfect and everybody has their own issues. Although the post doesn't specify how often she is late, and whether or not it changes depending on how important the event is, Most people who are habitually late still make more of an effort on the days that are much more important. You've undermined your mother's love for you by attacking her poor personality traits. You have every right to say something, but it certainly didn't need to be as strong as how you said it. YTA. You're the a-hole. Being late to everything is annoying, but if you're willing to uninvite your mother from your wedding just for that, then enjoy regretting that for the rest of your life. My mom was always at least 20 minutes late to everything, and it drove me crazy, but now she's dead, and I'd kill to have her around so she could be late to my wedding. Your mom won't be around forever, and pushing her out of your wedding over an issue that you devoted a mere 2 paragraphs to is an overreaction. Perpetual lateness is extremely disrespectful. She's showing she doesn't value your time, and to be offended that you dare suggest she can't pull the same crap on your wedding day? NTA 100%, and don't you dare apologize to her. P.S. Your dad sucks too right now. I am shocked at these replies. ESH, everybody sucks here. It's like if you're right in an argument, you get entitled to punish the other person however you like. OP really was unnecessarily rude to her mother. I'm probably gonna get a lot of downvotes for this, but ESH, everybody sucks here. Habitually late people are annoying as frock, and it is disrespectful as frock too. But uninviting your mum from your wedding over it? I don't get it. People on this sub seem to always resort to the most extreme solutions to things. Assuming your relationship with your mum is overall okay, and her being late is the only reason you're thinking of excluding her from your wedding, isn't that a little extreme? Some years down the line, you might regret not having your mum with you on a pretty big day of your life, just because she had an annoying habit of being late. I spent my whole childhood and teenage years being fashionably late to almost every event that I attended, because my dad would wait till there was just enough time to get there. If he sped, hit all green lights, didn't get behind slow traffic, and got lucky. In my mid-teen years, before I could just drive myself, I started giving wrong times for things a half hour early so I'd actually get there on time. Which worked wonderfully. I was 20 minutes early instead of late. Big deal at school stuff, lots of fun social time with friends. Then he figured out what I was doing and retorted by being really late. Guess I ticked him off a little. Was a sore point between us being late all the time. As an adult, I strive to be at least 10 to 15 ahead of schedule for personal stuff and kids' school stuff. 5 ahead for drive appointments, since they generally make me wait 15 to 30 after the appointment time anyway. He's gone now, sadly, and I can look back on it now and give a chuckle. At his funeral, I had the funeral director keep his casket out of view for the 11 a.m. funeral service and cook off 10 minutes so he was late to his own funeral. Included an apology on his behalf, and that the running joke between us was that he'd be late to his own funeral in the eulogy I gave, which was met with roaring laughter. They all knew him pretty well and all got the joke. Except my aunt, who generally has a stick up her butt anyway. She was offended and went off to what's left of the family about how disrespectful that was. Which is okay, we've been NC since 1993 for reasons, and she had contacted me through an intermediary to get permission to attend. Since he was her brother, I felt it was only right to allow it. Yeah, very bad blood. Anyway, my take on your mom being late is be kind. Maybe cook up some reason for her to be there to help you get ready for your wedding. Well, before the ceremony, so when she is late for that, she's still on time for the ceremony. I do feel crappy sometimes about all the grief I gave my dad over lateness. Because in the scheme of things, he really was a pretty kick-ass dad. I'd want my mom at my wedding if she was alive. My mom was always late. She was late to work, late to church, late to everything. The only reason my wedding started on time was because we took pictures beforehand, so she had to be there. When she passed, we started her funeral 5 minutes after the hour. We couldn't help it. I think you could have phrased it better, but ultimately NTA.